Wow, this super full blood moon, lunar eclipse, the date and the time of the portals leading up before now and after now. And this is the universe's way of truly compressing, like a trash compactor, every last little piece of toxic energy out of us as a collective so that we can move beyond all of our past dysfunction. And in case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and on this channel I will help you become your best self so you can live your best life. And today we're going to talk about the energy of the full moon, super full moon, lunar eclipse, blood moon on top of that is happening here on this Thursday to Friday. And this is going to be posting the morning of, I'm actually recording this during the opening eclipse time. You know, as we know, a lunar eclipse always dives deep. On top of that being the super blood full moon and the timing of going into the spring equinox and the new beginnings. So this has all been a portal for most of this month. And if you're feeling this, let me know, because I'm actually traveling right now. I've left Panama City Beach and I'm heading back to Missouri to take my family home. Then I'm heading to Sedona by the end of the month and planning to be there for the retreat and land journeys coming up in April and May. If you've not got plugged into that, make sure to check out the link for that retreat below and above, because it is an early bird special and I have 2 spots left for early bird, and you're not going to want to miss it, because technically all of what's happening in this eclipse, it is definitely happening so we can truly step into this higher potential of ourselves. And I always talk about the energy of this kind of flow that comes up is, you know, we've got our plan, we got God's plan. And then on top of that, when we try to, you know, think and are afraid that maybe we're going to make a wrong choice, you can't make a wrong choice, because in the direction of whatever choices we make, the universe is going to bump you in. Like the bumper pads on a bowling alley, and, you know, keeping the ball like down the lane. Well, that's what the universe is doing in this, like, majorly. And also, if maybe you're experiencing a combination of things. So number one, you could be having some dreams from past partners, past lives, things that need to come up for you to continue the healing with a person. Different signs and synchronicities. You might be revisiting your timeline of your childhood. And that's what's been happening to me, even being with family right now, and it's helping show me things. So that's the one thing I'll tell you is, so as intense as this is, if you will truly face it, if you'll truly look at it, and you truly take a moment to take in this portal and set a goal to get on board with this energy, this eclipse energy, it will take us through into this higher version of ourselves, remembering who we truly are, and most importantly, remembering our worth. Because this timeline, this portal, this energy is most importantly helping clear dysfunctional relationships that are not serving us. So I want to talk to you today about 3 to 4 things that I'm seeing that's coming up during this portal that can help you. So I want to talk to you today about 3 or 4 things that's coming up during this portal, that if you will take the time to truly look into this, truly reflect on this, and truly know that this is happening for your greater good, then you're going to go through this portal much easier than if you resist it or you fight the fact that you're truly doing one of 2 things. You're really just continuing to solve any unresolved issues, or you're implementing the new ways and the new version of you. So it's kind of like, you know, when peace. So one of the things is So one of the things that keeps happening is past partners are returning, and or new partners that are showing up that are reflecting old patterns, so that you can make sure that regardless with the pattern you had with a past person, that now you're able to implement the new pattern with the new person that will reflect to you back to the person prior, or multiple partners, or, you know, the twin flame experience. It's going to reflect to you all the dysfunction that you've experienced again. But what's interesting in this energy is it's not just doing it from a place of one area of your life or one thing. It's like this is, and I've said this before, but this is like the, you've taken like a test and now you take finals, right? So this is kind of like the final exam, or something that's coming up at the end, the grand finale, that after you went through so many different types of experiences, that you're doing it all at the same time. And we're not only mainly clearing the dysfunction in relationships, it's also bringing up clearing of the lineage, the bloodline, the childhood wounds, the childhood patterns and programming, and taking you back into that timeline to basically see maybe where you took on these patterns to begin with. And that's how I'm seeing them link. So the dysfunction in relationships always links to parents, and then the patterns we've taken on from our childhood and our experiences, looking back at where we took that pattern on. And even though we've done this work, what's really cool that's happening now is that we're not having to do much. It's like the experience is just repeating itself. It's just showing up for you to get the reflection in yourself of what you need to do and what you need to work on. So use this time to really look deep. So you might want to do some journaling, some reflection, and ask, like, what is it that I need to know? Because I kind of mentioned this, but I didn't say it fully, that these things are happening for one of two things. You're either having it show up that's allowing you to kind of get re-triggered, to see if you're going to re-traumatize, to see if you're going to react, basically. Or to see if you're going to respond from the new version of you, the higher version of you, the worthy version of you that knows you desire and deserve better. And so a couple of the things in the relationships I want to bring up that I'm seeing is that people are either returning from the past, as I mentioned, or new people are showing up, or the same people. So this could be relationships in the past or present, really. But the bottom line is, if they're not working, they're not working. But what is also happening is new relationships are coming in to reflect to you the same thing that you've experienced before, so you can choose differently this time. And while it might be even another twin flame connection, another explosion, the universe brought us together, and now that we're no more together and all these things are happening, and next thing you know it's time to go apart, because it really wasn't about the relationship. As always, it's really about fast tracking the entire journey, say 10 months and 10 days, something like that. And the energy of it is really intense when you compress all of that into all this time into this short amount of time. That means it speeds up everything. Just really think about it. Are you going to continue the patterns or not? And then the lineage part and the childhood part is coming through to help you reprogram the patterns and the beliefs that you've taken on, and to look at them and to note the common theme as to why you've been creating certain patterns in your life, and not just with the relationships, but how you've navigated your life thus far and the last few years even. So one of the things I have to tell you about myself in this, especially since I'm with my mom and everything's reflecting to me back to my childhood right now, of everything that I thought as I did the childhood wound program, reprogramming, and already did the reprogramming, it's okay, I'm back where I started, so to speak, meaning that I did all this work thinking I needed to go into this sense of acceptance, I needed to learn X, Y, and Z, and now here I am being faced with the same exact experiences to come up with the same way that I need to respond out of a place of feeling worthy, boundaries, respect for myself. Meaning that I don't no longer have to look outside of myself to think that, okay, I need to accept you as accepting a part of me. I've already done that. So now that I'm accepting myself, this doesn't work for me. X, Y, and Z. And a lot of this is coming up with, say, present relationships or past relationships or experiences returning. And I'm seeing this all around me, is to be able to see that the partners that are showing up have so much potential at a higher version of who you are, what you want to experience, and everything's just almost there. But are you going to settle? Are you going to accept that? Are you going to like go into yourself and realize that you deserve more? And most importantly, a piece of all this that's happening is putting us into a place of speaking our truth, setting our boundaries, operating from our feminine self if we are the divine feminine, and operating in our masculine self if we're the divine masculine. But so many of the divine masculine are truly healing their feminine wounds, meaning that they need to step more into their empowerment. But by us feminine holding this space and not accepting and staying in our power really, and speaking our truth and doing all the things that we've learned all along, that now that's kind of keeping the masculine in check, so that then the masculine knows that they got to work harder, they got to do better. And what they're really doing is healing their own inner feminine wounds now, that we've basically been healing as the feminine. Now this is energy, so I don't even want to talk about this, and don't take this as, male, female, because this is energy that I'm referring to. And you can be in either or, male or female. You could be ping-ponging where you're coming at from, which side of the coin that you're needing to get the experience from based on your own childhood or your own experiences. And so we have become new versions of ourselves already. And there's no way that we can screw this up, because the universe is not going to allow us to screw it up, because the universe wants us as a collective to be in this new vibration. So this eclipse is literally, think of this as a recalibration of your energy, a recalibration of your mindset, of your heart, of your chakras, of your energy. It's a reboot. And I mean, for not just your own energy template, your own vibration, but your field and in your life. Here we are going into the spring, and really just a new place, operating from a place of our new tools and resources that we have, thinking in new ways. And what I really think is key here is our awareness is so high right now that we're able to see exactly what we need to see to not repeat the pattern. It's a time to go within. It's a time for reflection. It's a time for introspection. Do spend some journaling time. Do make a list of the things that are not serving your highest good, and whether that's to end some communication with someone, to stop putting energy into a person that is not giving back to you in the harmonic way, that is not providing what your needs are, your desires are, or, and here's the thing I gotta say about that. This doesn't even mean it has to be a bad thing like it used to be in technically some of the karmic way. Because what I will say is, eclipses have to do with compressing and collapsing all the karma and dismantling the dysfunction, right? But this is basically looking at some things that you've created that feel really good and that feel really aligned and that you actually love. But looking at it from the new lens that now you gotta let this go to have that. And you're doubting and you're not trusting having that, because those patterns, those programs, those unconscious thoughts, they're still running. They're still somehow showing up in your daily life that's giving you doubt and holding you back. Reassess yourself, your life, and know that if it's not like a hell yes, and if it's like, the whole thing I just talked about, if you're cleaning out your closet, if you don't love it, you don't use it, then lose it. You know what I mean? Because if it doesn't serve you, now's the time to let it go. And that's where I'm saying the universe won't let you get out of the lane into the gutters. Okay, has up the bumper pads to make sure that we make it down to the pins, to the target, to the end goal, to the end game here. And we can't get a toe out of alignment of that. That is the alignment, the alley lane. That is the alignment. And you're just going to keep getting smacked and smacked and smacked, and you're not going to feel settled. You're not going to feel at peace. And I mentioned a little bit about returning some of the patterns, like say, my childhood, and coming back to almost like square zero, ground zero, or back to where I began. I think a lot of us, and myself included in this, has looked at, especially from this ascension and spiritual side, we're looking at things from a place of needing to fix ourselves, that we're not good enough the way we are, that we need to, it's kind of become a program technically to think we got to do all this work on ourselves. And that separates from us and our true self, because our true self is perfect the way we are. And so in my case in this, when I look at all the childhood healing work that I have done, it's like, as things come up, I'm always looking at, what is my lesson? What is it that I need to learn? What is it I need to fix? Right? And what I'm telling you in this, it's what if it's not even about you and any of that. But what if you're just teaching the other person something, and your only goal is to say, I'm healed, I'm whole, I'm out of here, I'm done, like, I'm not revisiting this again. And no. I think we're all coming into this a place of respect to say that I'm worthy and deserve better. I've done the work, and I don't have to do X, Y, and Z to be worthy of it, or to have to, experience it. I can have it now. Now, I will tell you, I've been teetering that myself back and forth with that idea, because I totally have believed that. I have totally tried to walk that. And then what I've also had happen along the way is experiences to show me, you think you're Miss Know-It-All, and that you've got it all figured out, and that that you're going to have it turn out with expectations, timelines, all these things. And then it's like, oh, but wait, I might think that and I'll give you an example of this. I might think that I'm going to Avalon this summer, but I've been shown that I need to go back to Panama City Beach in order to do a combination of healing with people, the land, and that I'm still going to Avalon, but it's like this reroute, and I'm being pulled there to do even the healing in the earth and the people, and to anchor energy and to really use the purification of the ocean. On the flip side, what I'm going to tell you in that concept is, for me, I've always put my mission before myself in some ways. And meaning I want to go to Avalon, but, the universe wants me to go to Panama City to do grid work and healing the land and healing the people. And so I'm just going to be like Christopher Columbus and set sail and take off and do that, which is how I've operated. And it's kind of like I'm coming to this place of, no, I need to take care of myself. I need to do what I need to do, and I will get there, and I will do that. But I also don't want to forgo my own desires, even for my mission. Okay? Now, I'm still playing out what I just said to you, but I'm giving you an example in that we're being presented with these very high level choices that, again, you can't make a wrong choice, but you need to make the one that's going to, I said this to a friend yesterday or today, I think it was yesterday, and I say this to clients too, you just need to make every choice in the moment based on what's going to keep you in peace and empowered. And then from there, if it's tomorrow different, make a different choice for the same thing tomorrow. But don't look back to what you did and blame yourself or regret it or doubt it, thinking you made the wrong choice or the wrong decision. Know that, and that's where I'm saying, right now, I'm kind of God, I feel like after everything I've done with my childhood being presented in the last few days, I just feel like that I went back to ground zero. But on the flip side of that, when I say go back to ground zero, what I mean is that I thought that because of those things in my childhood, that in some ways it was happening for me to be the one to change, right? But what if it wasn't about me changing? Although I did gain a lot out of that, but I'm bringing it back around to say, you know what? This isn't even me. I'm just going to take action with what I want to do. And, you know, a lot of people look at this as being selfish, and, you know, especially when, you know, you got to be compassionate and you're learning all the self-mastery. And that's why I feel like every step of the journey is part of the journey, meaning you do every step of it from a place that you're getting exactly what you need in every scenario, and gaining a part of yourself, a facet of yourself, an energy of yourself. You're opening up these energy channels and energy portals that's helping you be, do, and have more of who you are, and ultimately the higher version of you that came here to truly embrace your divinity in human form. And that is not easy to do, because we have human desires and we have the human experience of how we feel certain things and how we navigate certain things. But this is trying to be the expression of the divine through all of this. But in that, it is a co-creation between us and God. And we have to remember that we don't even need to give our power away to the concept and the idea that we don't have a say. And while we don't on some end when it comes to, there's a universal plan, there's God's plan, but how we have the say is it's how we get there, navigate it. And what, you know, we all know that the sooner you just dive in and get done what you need to do, the faster you're over it. So use this energy, this eclipse energy, just to purge it on out, just to, like, I'm still feeling the jump ship and set sail. And it's really happening too for me, because I've left my sanctuary and loved every minute of it, living on the beach for 3 months. And let me tell you what, if I hadn't already had plans to leave, I probably wouldn't have left. And, you know, even with me going to Sedona and already having a retreat, you know, people signed up, and, you know, I've got obligations and things to do and commitments to keep. And that's also part of my mission. And I also know that that's letting go of some things that I left there, that's allowing me to go forward a new person, and taking those things with me, and then embracing the idea of the journey of this new, and then also embracing the idea of the letting go of the old from a place that it taught us something. It's a gift. And all the people that are bringing all these awarenesses to us and that are allowing us to experience this beautiful release, that is a gift too. So I want to send you guys loads of love. I want to go get this edited and take a little bit of a break, because I actually will be in this area for a couple of days. But it's been very intense personally, just going through all the things that I'm experiencing. And I honestly have not had a chance to fully do my full introspection, my full ability to journal, and have some time to process, because I've been around family nonstop for a few days now. And if you guys have ever heard me talk about the little girl that was in the corner, that and that's a good example of this. If you've ever heard me talk about the little girl in the corner that was in a chaotic energy from the space and the energy of my parents and just all the things, I had no place to feel like I had my own little space, because they were building a home, and it was like, took a while to get bedrooms in, and we were living there as they were doing this, and it was just a lot of things. So that was just the outside reflection of what was really happening, even energetically, that couldn't be seen, but I felt it. And I found this little cubby space between a refrigerator and a wall to set up my Barbies, knowing that that's the only thing I could control, and it was my little sanctuary, my little hideaway, my getaway. And I had spent some time recognizing and realizing why that little girl was in the corner, and trying to bring that little girl out of the corner, okay? And now what I'm sitting here telling you is, this little girl wants to go back in the corner, and I'm saying it's okay this time. That if I need my own space, I need my own sanctuary, I need my own peace, I need my own way to navigate things, like, it just needs to be that going forward, and I need to make every choice going forward to be like, I'm worthy of being able to do things how I want to do them, not how it's being conducted or in somebody else's control of how you have to do things, especially as a grown person. I hope you're experiencing some really good energy regardless of the intensity of this right now. And again, please make sure to like, comment, share the shine, and I'll see you next time.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.